So speaking of freshmen, there is a pretty solid group of freshmen, and we've kind of touched on it here and there, but let's wrap this thing up with talking about the freshmen. You've got 4 guys coming in, the number 1 linebacking core in the 2022 class, and they're all in class right now at Notre Dame, which I think is also huge. And so all 4 of those guys coming in, they're going to make an impact, whether it's an impact just to the depth chart alone, pushing guys, or whether they see the field a little bit this year. I think they're going to make an impact this year, I think, as a group.
There's no way they're not going to do something.
Right.
They're going to be involved some way, somehow. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know if it's going to be starters, depth guys, special teams. Don't know any of that. Don't know any of that. What I know is these kids were all told their entire recruitment, you better come in thinking you're going to play. They did not, because a lot of times with these, hey, look, you got to come in, you got to work hard, when your time comes. No, they each one, hey, don't come in here thinking you're going to redshirt. Don't come in here thinking, you need to come in here thinking you're going to battle. Because they want those guys pushing the veterans, number one. Number two, They know this kid's going to help us. I mean, if I'm Brian Mason, the first time somebody comes into me and says, should we redshirt Josh Burnham? I'm slapping him in the face and kicking him out of the meeting room, right? Unless it's Marcus Freeman, then I'm not doing that.
Yeah, right.
But I'm like, no, I'm not redshirt any of those guys, right? Those guys are all going to be starters for me on kickoff coverage and punt coverage and all that kind of stuff, because those guys can flat out
and
run.
If they're as good as we think they are, they're not going to be 5-year players anyway.
No, Nolan Ziegler's the only guy that I would even remotely have a conversation about redshirting, because he's physically behind the others. He's 205, that kind of thing. Nolan could be a 5-year guy. He's the only one, though. None of those other guys, if they're 5-year guys, it means they were hurt or they're not as good as you think they are.
Sure.
And by that point in time, you've over-recruited them anyway.
True.
And so, yeah, I'm giving them – they're going to play – if Junior Tuihalamaka is not starting on the kick return team next year, I'm going to be shocked. That fullback position, where you have the fullbacks or tight ends, I mean, he'll be on there. If Josh Burnham and Jalen Snead aren't starters on the kick coverage and punt coverage teams next year, I'm going to be shocked. So they're going to play. Now, the question is will they help you at linebacker? That's the bigger question, because it's not going to be easy for them to just shove Prince Colley and Maris Luafau and Bo Bauer and J.D. Bertrand to the side. It's not going to be easy, but it's possible because of how good they are. And the other thing, too, is I'd have some fun with them in nickel. If Bo Bauer ends up being your starting Mike, I'm taking him off the nickel package and I'm putting Burnham or Jalen Snead or something like that in there, or Jordan Botelho. I would love to see Bo Bauer get replaced by Jordan Botelho in that. So that's going to be an interesting thing, is with Botelho emerging. Hopefully he has a smarter offseason than he did last year. With the incoming freshmen, with Prince Colley emerging, with Maris Luafau coming back, this is going to be a way longer, way deeper, and way more athletic linebacking core than it was a year ago.
Yeah.
Will the play get better? That's the question. Will the production get better? That's the question. But I can guarantee you the depth's going to be better, it's going to be longer, and it's going to be way more athletic than it was. Because, again, you remove Maris from this conversation. Prince wasn't as athletic because mentally he was still a freshman learning everything, and you don't play as fast. He's got that year under his belt now. So that's kind of where I'm really excited about this group, Vince, is this could end up being a question mark on the defense. But, man, if the light goes on for enough of these kids, they've got a chance to be really, really good. And that's when you start to kind of get excited about what this group can be. So we did have